अस्सलाम वालेकुम मानूर, कैसी हैं आप?
Walaikum salam. Alhamdulillah, I'm good. How are you?
थैंक यू सो मच फॉर टेकिंग आउट टाइम। आई एम प्रीटी मच श्योर यू हैव अलाइन विद द फैक्ट कि हम आज इसलिए बैठे हैं ताकि हम कुछ चीज़ों को डिस्कस कर सकें और
Yeah, yeah.
दूसरे लोगों को उससे किसी तरीके से गाइडलाइन दे सकें। ठीक है, सो बिफोर वी स्टार्ट द सेशन आई वुड बी हैप्पी इफ यू कैन शेयर अबाउट योरसेल्फ, क्या कर रही हैं, हाउ इज एवरीथिंग गोइंग इन लाइफ, ताकि फिर उसके बाद हम स्टार्ट करें सेशन।
Yeah, thank you so much. So basically, my name is Manu Fatima, and I am a fresh graduate from Brunel University, London, and I did my masters in. So basically, I did a double degree masters. It is in digital MSc Digital Marketing and Business Intelligence. And I did my bachelor's from former Christian College University, Lahore, in marketing and sales. My specialization were like marketing and sales. And yeah, that's about my educational
Perfect.
background. And moving forward, about my expertise. So I have a 3+ year experience in marketing and social media platform. So I had like worked with different people, different influencers, and I have worked as a brand. I'm working as a brand manager as well, and so yeah, that's all.
Perfect.
I'm a
Perfect.
marketeer, if you can say that thing.
Perfect, perfect. Thank you so much, Manu, for your introduction. So, starting off, जैसा आपने बताया कि you are more into marketing and you have done
Yeah,
your bachelor's and graduation somewhere related to marketing and sales. ठीक है.
yeah.
So, I'm pretty much sure this is a very normal question जो आपसे हर कोई पूछता होगा कि यार आप जब लंदन गए पढ़ने के लिए, so what's the mindset that you have? Are you someone जिसने बैचलर्स में ये चीज़ सोच ली थी कि ठीक है यार, I wanted to do my masters from London, or you are someone कि जिसने ग्रेजुएशन के बाद थोड़ा एक्सपीरियंस हासिल करा, उसके बाद सोचा कि ठीक है, now I plan कि what are the cities and what are the universities who is offering good master's degree in the relevant field. So how was your how's your overall experience कि आपने एजुकेशन को किस तरीके से सिलेक्ट करा, क्योंकि बिफोर वी मूव टू एनी अदर सिटी और कंट्री उसके पीछे आपको बहुत सारी रिसर्च करनी पड़ती है, फिर आपको ये देखना पड़ता है कि कौन सी यूनिवर्सिटी है, कहाँ जाएंगे, इज इट वर्थ इनफ, क्या रैंकिंग है उसकी, तो उसका थोड़ा सा बताइएगा कि आपने कैसे करा उसको, कहाँ गए, क्या रिसर्च थी, सो पीपल विल नो अबाउट इट।
So yeah, this is a question that everybody asks me mostly. So basically, let's be very honest. When I was in my bachelor's, I decided at that time that I have to do masters, and Alhamdulillah, I did it. But for the country, I wasn't specific at that time because I was confused between Canada and UK. But as most of my family member, they are UK graduates, so my family and I was more inclined towards UK. And keeping in mind that there are more opportunities in UK comparatively to Canada, and you can vary, people can vary their opinion in this thing, but this is what I feel like and I felt like when I was there as well. So that is how I decided going to UK, and and moreover, the decision of the university that I made was solely on this course, because there were many other universities like Queen Mary. I got acceptance from that as well, and then there were Kingston College in London, and some Strathclyde University, Scotland. So these are some of the universities from where I got my acceptance. But the courses they were offering were only MSc Digital Marketing. But at Brunel, I was given an opportunity to get a degree in Digital Marketing and Business Intelligence. So it was a more diverse degree according to me. So that's why I opted for like this degree from this specific university, and I think that it was a great experience, and I learned a lot of things because I wasn't just specified to just marketing thing. I got my hands on different kind of softwares, and I learned the practical implementation of those like marketing techniques through those softwares for like people for those things when companies hire two different people for that specific job. So this degree makes sure that I got a practical as well as theoretical knowledge for something by
Mm-hmm.
just a comprehended time of 1.5 years. So yeah,
Totally,
that's all.
totally agree. The second thing that I wanted to discuss, whenever we see anyone who is studying from abroad, specifically वो फिर Canada हो, London हो, US हो, कहीं से भी हो, ठीक है? So you need to also understand the fact कि only studying is not the part of the life. ठीक है, you need to do your course, you need to do all the work, you need to work, you need to balance out your education. So on that point, can you please highlight few of the मेन की पॉइंटर्स कि यार अगर कोई भी बंदा बाहर जाने का सोच रहा है, क्योंकि यूजली लोगों को लगता है कि बाहर चले जाना इज द लार्जेस्ट स्टेप, बट वो एक फर्स्ट स्टेप होता है, क्योंकि उसके बाद आपको मैनेजमेंट सीखनी पड़ती है कि आपको टाइम मैनेजमेंट सीखनी पड़ती है। यू नीड टू ऑल्सो अंडरस्टैंड द फैक्ट कि आप ट्रैवल कैसे करोगे, कब उठोगे, कब जाओगे, कितने टाइम पे पढ़ोगे, फिर आपको काम करना है तो आप कहाँ पे काम करोगे। So any tips and tricks or any idea that you were doing also there, ठीक है, तो आपने भी देखा होगा कि यार चलो ठीक है, अगर मैं पढ़ रही हूँ तो इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि मुझे सिर्फ पढ़ना है। यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड द फैक्ट कि आपको काम भी करना होता है साथ साथ, और फिर आपको घर के काम भी करने होते हैं, बर्तन धोने हैं, खाना पकाना है, अपना ख्याल रखना है। सही है। और अभी इन 2025 टिल 2025 पाकिस्तान में ये मेंटालिटी थोड़ी सी रहती है कि यार लड़की अकेले बाहर जा रही है तो वो किस तरीके से मैनेज करेगी। सो tell me about this overall experience. How was your experience? I'm pretty much sure your family is much concerned, but उनको ज़्यादातर चीज़ें पहले से पता होंगी because a lot of your family members are graduating from that same country or that same university. But उनको फिर भी ये चीज़ होती है कि यार how you manage things. So what are the key pointers that you're gonna highlight कि यार इन चीज़ों का लोगों को ख्याल रखना चाहिए before they are moving to abroad फॉर हायर एजुकेशन, ताकि उनको अच्छे तरीके से वो चीज़ें समझ में आ जाए पहले।
So first of all, I would just like to mention this thing that all the glitters are not the gold. So, people who are back home here in Pakistan, they think that especially the youngsters, like when I was the part of this race, like 2 years ago, when I was in this decision making process, so I had the same mindset, like okay, if I will go abroad or like any country abroad, my life will be set. There will be no problem, my career and everything. It's just done, and just you just blink your eyes and everything is sorted. You just have to step out of Pakistan. But honestly, it's not like that. Whether regardless to whatever gender you belong, it's not about like okay, keeping in your mind like being from this specific desi culture. There is like more, the thing that oh boy, your papa that ladki hai to kaise manage karegi. That is a very relevant term that is used mostly for female going abroad or anywhere, alone. But the thing is that I personally think the struggles are basically same for like both genders or like whatever gender you belong. For me, what I have learned through my experience abroad is like I am much more self-dependent, I would say. And apart from that, I think that it has generated a sense of that you it's just you yourself and your god. There's no third body involved in your life. And if you the more you are inclined towards yourself, the more your life is sorted. So yeah, that's one of the things that I learned. And apart from that, what the pros of me moving abroad was that it made me a totally different Manu who was like here. It made me realize it polished my decision making skills. It polished my interpersonal and extrapersonal skills. And as interacted with people from all around the world, so I got to know about different cultures. I think that it made me more empathetic, like okay, everybody in the world, they are going through something, and we can just try to make this world a better place by just helping somebody, a bit. And being an international student, I have to go through a lot of things, not only like financially but physically, mentally. That is something that I have experienced, that and mostly people who study abroad, they experience that when you are alone in your room, you had nobody to rely on. So more or less your mental health do get affected. And for that thing, it just made me, a much better person, a much thoughtful person. And it just made me realize like for you like and it just generated this sense of thing in me that to get something or to get somewhere, the first step is to get out of your comfort zone. The day you did that, the day you will get something. And that is what happened with me in my case scenario. And alhamdulillah, like, it was a great decision from my side as well.
Good, good, good. So that's totally understandable because whenever you start living alone, you need to understand the fact कि आपको बहुत सारी चीजें by your own करनी होती हैं, and you need to make decisions, make daily life decisions like यार
And
Either I
you
have
have to
to.
be a multitasker basically. You have to do
Exactly,
everything. You have
exactly,
to cook, you
exactly.
have to
And
clean, you have to earn, you have to study. And the thing is that you cannot rant with anybody about that thing, because the people back home or your family, they will be like, oh, okay, that might not be the case. You are still in a much better place than us. And maybe we are. I'm not denying the fact. But the thing is that your problems are totally different from the people who are back home, and they cannot resonate to your problems, and you cannot resonate to their problems. So yeah, just you
totally
have to
agree.
make peace with it.
Totally agree. Every person has different issues when it comes to career building हो गई फिर अगर यूनिवर्सिटी की बात हो गई, and it's also a matter of fact you need to also understand the fact graduation is just a first step. ठीक है.
Yeah.
After graduation, you need to understand it's not like that you got graduated from a UK university and get out from your university and like million of companies are like waiting for you just for the job. And the job hunting is a totally different thing. Although you were doing odd jobs meanwhile, and that gives you a role or experience that how to do public speaking, how to connect with other people and other industry professionals. Okay. So and the next thing that I wanted to do, what that I wanted to discuss is you have done your graduation is in somewhat AI and digital, and this is what we are having in the coming years. Now, to be very honest, a lot of people are very much rely on AI, and
Yeah.
there is a debate going on. Either AI is gonna take places, either is AI gonna take jobs from people. ठीक है. अब उसमें हर बंदे के अलग अलग पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू है. If I say, for example, I personally believe AI won't be taking any jobs. Only people who don't understand or who are not using those platforms to make their work easy might be get affected. ठीक है. Also, I wanted to understand the fact that the boom over here in Pakistan is totally different. When we have this chat GPT thing now, a lot of Pakistani usually think कि chat GPT से ये पूछ लेना कि $1 से पाकिस्तानी रुपीस कितने हैं, किसी की क्या रेसिपी है. This is not the right approach. You need to understand the fact कि हर प्लेटफॉर्म पे एक्सप्लोर आपको खुद करना होता है. Maybe platform might give you an idea. तो थोड़ा सा मुझे बताना कि what's the key difference of understanding AI and digital marketing in Pakistan and over there? Because both the countries has totally different ecosystem. ठीक है. हम पाकिस्तान में जिस तरीके से काम कर रहे होते हैं वो बहुत अलग क्राइटेरिया होता है. We usually we usually rely on facts and figures कि ठीक है यार हम
Yeah.
किसी कंपनी में जाएंगे रियल लाइफ एनवायरनमेंट में एक्सपीरियंस देंगे. ठीक है. सो हाउस द ओवरऑल डिफरेंस बिटवीन जो आपने देखा है कि वहाँ के लोग एआई को किस तरीके से अप्रोच करते हैं और यहाँ के लोग किस तरीके से अप्रोच कर रहे हैं.
So basically, the approach of people towards AI, I think that that is something that depends on the individual separately, and it's not about it's not something that is geographically that makes a difference, but it varies from person to person. But the overall impact of digital marketing, I would say that it depends on the person. If you want to take it negatively, it will
Hmm.
affect you negatively. If you want to take it positively, it will affect you positively. But according to me and what I have experienced from people, that the people living in UK, how they take AI is like that. They consider AI as a very positive thing, and they think
Hmm.
that it make their life and my life much easier. And the thing that you just discussed, that regardless whatever the platform is, regardless whatever the technology is, you have to have an hand-on experience, and you have to make your grasp you have to grasp the concept yourself. Nobody's going to come and do that for you. And secondly, I would say that AI regarding my field is that it made people it made the life of people that belong to my field much easier. As I think that not only like it saved the time, but it helped them in predicting different concept and predicting different results. And like tools like ChatGPT, you can say Google Analytics, Google Analytics 4, and CRM system, it enhanced the concept of like the like what customer needs. or like what is the demand of market, and the AI for market, for a person who belongs to marketing, he or she will definitely say this thing, that AI improved its customer segmentation, targeting. It helped us, to make sure, like, we can ask chat GPT, like, okay, if we can give up. It's just about the way you give the prompt to chat GPT. These technologies, first, before some time ago, we didn't we to get the result of some, to some approach, it was a very difficult thing. We were not able to get numbers that accurate, so we cannot judge, like, okay, this marketing technique is a better option, and this marketing technique is not, it's not targeting our target audience in that specific way, so which was a waste of resource and a waste of time. But through these AI tools, what happened, it helped us get real time insight, and the automation also save us time, and it helped us in boosting the ROI of the companies. So yeah, this
Totally,
is
totally,
something,
totally
yeah, that I
relatable. Totally
experienced.
relatable because there are like two perspectives to
Yeah,
understand this fact. AI is basically here to make your work easy, and it's
yeah,
up to
it is
you that
basically here
how
to help us.
exactly. And this is where you need to understand the fact how you're gonna use it
Yeah.
for your overall approach, if it's digital marketing or any other work. Then it comes to another point.
Mhm.
In the last few years, digital marketing got a lot of boom.
Yep.
To be very honest, the medium changes from generation to generation. If I talk about my parents usually are from the generation जहाँ पे newspaper थे. Then we
Yeah.
have a generation that
PCs were medium.
more likely towards the TV, and the medium changes towards social media for now. And maybe in the coming year, it will be more related towards AI, VR, AR, maybe something
And
else.
especially after COVID, everything shifted to online. During COVID and after COVID, now I think there's a lot. There's very less amount of things that you can do on ground. Mostly things shifted to online
Yeah, so
mediums.
basically, the point is कि इससे पहले a lot of people working 9 to 5, and usually they think कि यार सही है, काम जो है वो ऑफिस से होता है. Then the corona thing appears, and then people usually understand the fact कि it's not कि वर्क फ्रॉम होम नहीं हो सकता, या चीजें इस तरीके से सेल आउट नहीं हो सकती. आई थिंक द डिजिटल मार्केटिंग यूजली बूम इन द कोरोना फेज, क्योंकि तब लोग घर में लॉकडाउन में थे एंड यूजली पीपल वर नॉट गोइंग आउट, तो मे बी दे आर लाइक जस्ट ordering from any other places or buying things
Mhm.
online. ठीक है. For me, I wanted to know, because you also a graduate student in AI and also digital marketing. So, what do you think was the right approach? Like, how much is the importance of digital marketing right now for any business? Either if it's a small business, either if it's something that is an MNC level. What do you think? What impact a digital marketing can provide to a business? What would be the right approach towards it? What's your thought on it?
Again, that's the point, Umair, that it depends on the individual, that how you take, and it depends on the company, like what's the company approach towards digital marketing. But the importance of digital marketing in today's business world is like, I think that nothing can go, any product or any company, it is necessary for that company to have a digital presence, to show that it is a legit company, and people can trust more for, like, those company who has more over a digital appearance or something like that. So what I think is that digital marketing is a more cost effective way, because it helps us reach the specific target audience. We
Hmm.
can target the specific people for whom we are, like, approaching for that specific product or something like that. And apart from that, as I discussed before, like, through digital marketing, what we can do is, like, we can measure the results, we can get the proper numbers. It is good at number game, so it can help us track the performance in the real time of that specific marketing approach, or that specific marketing technique, so that we can alter accordingly. And apart from that, for social media, SEO, content marketing, these are something that, as you know, that people, specifically people from our area, from our, like, country, they believe in what word of mouth more, rather than the other things. So so there is a sense of belonging to us, to the other human being. So they are more into influencer marketing. They are so if an influencer, if he or she recommends something, so we are like, okay, it is tried and tested by that specific individual, so okay, might be the possibility is that this product is the something that we are looking forward. So yeah, that's the thing, that influencer marketing and social media marketing not only helped in booming the sales of the product, but also helped the companies to target a specific audience. And apart from that, what I felt through my experience is that before we were not able to connect the customer and the company's businesses together. There was a huge bridge and gap between these two things. But what social media did is, like, for the customers who are home, who are stay at home, and they do have no contact or relationship with the companies, but just because of their social media presence, they it feel like home. They connect to that specific brand in a much better way. So it helped you bridging the gap between these two, customer and
Totally agree. Totally agree. Also, if we are connecting dots, so digital marketing, while digital marketing is connecting business to their customers, it comes to the point where we can also discuss connection building in a personal space. Okay. To be very honest, LinkedIn is one of the very premium platform right now where you can set up your professional profile, connect with industry professional, and it's sort of a social media for professionals. Okay. What I wanted to know, okay, how do you think? Because I'm pretty much sure you are late Gen Zs or you are truly Gen Z. You are truly Gen Z, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So how Gen Zs are thinking about that thing, because as far as millennials are more likely people who are doing things in a slow pace. Now Gen Zs are has a different mindset. Okay, they really wanted to explore different opportunities. Okay, I have seen a lot of students who don't think that LinkedIn is a right platform. Okay, many students don't have their LinkedIn profile. They don't know how to connect with people. They don't know how to maybe make connections and engagement. You are using LinkedIn for a longer period of time. So,
Yeah.
as a Gen Z point of view, what do you think? What are the right pointers would be for students who are graduating right now? Because a lot of students don't understand the main importance of connection building and also their personal branding. Because, for example, अगर personal branding ना हो, so if you don't have a profile on any platform such as LinkedIn, where you are not showcasing your work, how people will gonna know that महानूर फातिमा कोई हैं जो यहाँ पे पढ़ती हैं या वो ये काम कर रही हैं या उनका ये experience, and it's very important to sell your stuff. ठीक है,
Yeah.
because you need to understand the fact that no one is gonna just come and see your profile and your picture and get an idea. They might be interested knowing about where are you working, where are you studying, what's your goals, what's your achievements look like. So, how's your overall point of view towards LinkedIn? And what are the key pointers or key mistakes that you are thinking is students right now not doing in a right way? Maybe if they can do it in a right way, they will be in much better position.
What I would suggest to students who are graduating right now is that make sure that, for me, LinkedIn worked. Honestly, and I would suggest to other people also that, as you mentioned, Umair, that you should have a LinkedIn profile, because it will help you not only brand yourself in a way, but it will also help you, connect in connecting with different people. Like we connected, so like without LinkedIn, you won't be it was not possible that you found me, or you can text me, or like we can have this conversation. It is just because of this specific medium. And apart from that, what I would suggest to students is that what I did, and luckily, alhamdulillah, I had that opportunity, that I never missed any single opportunity, whether it is of like 1 month, 2 month, or like online or something. I tried on getting something. I tried on taking some things with me throughout my educational journey. So what I did, like, I had uh, even throughout my educational journey, I had like experience of 3 plus year working with a small or large company, or like big level companies. companies. So that is what I would suggest to students who are graduating. Okay, don't think that, oh, okay, this is a free or unpaid internship. We are not into that. Oh, okay, this is not a role that we are not looking forward. Okay, I understand you have your specific preferences, but try to get professional experience as much as you can, because it will help you regardless you are in UK job market, Canada job market, or you are in Pakistani job market. Because every recruiter will ask this question, like, okay, this is your theoretical knowledge, but what is your hands on experience on? And there are so many things. The communication skills are, what I would also suggest is, like, try to talk, try to connect with different people, try to try to engage. Because the more you will go and the more you will talk to different people, not only you will build your connection, but you will be also able to get experience. You will also be able to learn from other people experiences, which is, I think, a good takeaway for you. Because, like, it's not necessary that you have to do all of the mistakes yourself and then learn from those mistakes. What you can do is, like, you can learn from other people's mistakes by just connecting to them, by just talking to them. So yeah, that's what I would say. Just like
So
just brand yourself in a way by just connecting and talking to people from diverse backgrounds. Regardless you are from HR background, talk to marketing people. Regardless you are from medicine background, just talk, just interact with people as much as you can.
engagement is very much important because you need to understand the fact, you if you wanted to be into the market, you need to understand what are the things going on in the market. Maybe there are few things that you don't understand or that you don't have an idea about. Maybe discussing about something to someone, you get different knowledge, and every person has different experience set, and every person is gonna give you some sort of knowledge that they might be helpful for you after a while. Just going back to the last previous conversation that we are having, I think this is the last thing that I wanted to discuss. What are the key pointers? Like, for example, a lot of people usually wanted to go out and do their masters, but they are worried about the visas. They are worried about, and they're starting connecting with what you say, agents or consultants, basically. So, what are the key pointers that a student should have? Like, for example, अगर मैं एक लिस्ट बनाऊं, अगर आपको ग्रेजुएट होने के बाद मास्टर्स करना है, तो उस लिस्ट के अंदर क्या क्या चीज़ें इंपॉर्टेंस होंगी और किस तरीके से वो चीज़ें फुलफिल करनी चाहिए, ताकि बिफोर यू गो टू एनी अदर कंट्री यू हैव ऑल द एक्सेस विद यू, like your graduation degrees, your IELTS, your TOEFL, or maybe any other thing. So any small tip or advice for students uh, who are thinking to go for their masters, कि यार ये चीजें आपको इस स्टेप में पूरी करनी है ताकि आप जब जाएं तो आपको मसला ना हो.
Yeah, first of all is, like, just make your mind that what is the area that you are going to apply for. Like, like, mostly people do, like, they are applying for Europe, for Canada, for America, for UK, like multiple countries at the same time. So that's not the thing, because it will just mess up things, in a very bad manner, because every single country and has their own requirements. Some countries want IELTS, some countries don't want IELTS. Same goes for some countries want recommendation letters, some countries don't, and some countries have. So the thing is that, just first of all, just cut down to what country you are applying for, you're planning to go for. First step is that, and then the second step is that while you are studying in your institution, make sure that you get at least two recommendation letters from your professors, because recommendation letters are the things that you will need. And once you graduate, it is very very difficult to connect to those professors again, because obviously you are not the student anymore and professor are busy in their other things. And while you are studying, you can go to your professor office again and again. Like in my case scenario, I was living in Faisalabad while I was studying in Lahore, so I had to go back and forth for my studies. So I was lucky enough that I got my recommendation letters from my professor while I was in the university. So which helped me, because all of the universities, like that that gave me acceptance, they asked me for those recommendation letters. So it would be a hell of a journey if I didn't have the those recommendation letters. And same goes for IELTS. I won't suggest you to just go and give IELTS, because some of the universities, they don't ask for IELTS, while because you have the medium of instruction letter, which is like, which shows that you are good at English and you have studied throughout your life in English. So the medium of your medium, basic medium is English, so that's not a problem for you. So there's no need to waste your money on IELTS. Just cut which countries and which universities you're applying for, and then see what are their requirements, and then you can, get your certificates according to that.
Totally understand. So basically, planning is the one thing. Before
Yeah.
you go to any other country, you
Yeah.
need to understand the fact that what are the requirements of that each and specific countries, whether they required any specific degrees or qualification or any other courses regarding to English. I think we have covered a lot of things, Manu. Thank you so much for your time. I'm pretty much sure a lot of students and a lot of people who are thinking to go abroad, or maybe they are looking for something, so they got a lot of knowledge regarding to कि किस तरीके से करना चाहिए, कैसा रहना चाहिए, how's gonna live over there. So thank you so much for your time, Manu. It's my pleasure to have you on this session. I'm pretty much sure that a lot of people will gonna learn a lot of things from this session.
Thank you so much for inviting me, and it was great talking to you as well.